Welcome to Paperweights, the podcast where two self-proclaimed gym rats and shooting enthusiasts delve into the world of literature with a sprinkle of humor. Although their biceps could crush a walnut, don't let that intimidate you. They also have a nerdy side. Mike and Brandon have a voracious appetite for reading, particularly in the fantasy genre, and they want to share their passion with you. So grab your protein shake and your favorite novel and join us for a humorous and insightful journey into the world of books with Paperweights.
Welcome back to another episode of the Paperweights. I'm your host, Brandon.
And Justin.
And today we are starting Red Seas Under Red Skies, Book 2 of Gentlemen Bastards. Let me move my microphone out a little bit closer so the sound's a little bit better. So last week we finished Book 1 and we're going to start Book 2. The first 194 pages or first 4 chapters and their reminiscences. But before we get started, we are sponsored by Mudcat Whiskers, a Louisiana small business that sells beard care products, candles, and colognes. They have an array of scents and some that have no scents. So if you are allergic to fragrances, that one might work for you. Or if you're a hunter, you can still take care of your beard without giving away your location to animals who have better sense of smell than we do. So you can visit them at www.mudcatwhiskers.com. Use code Paperweights at checkout to save yourself 15% on your beard wash, conditioner, balm, butters, oils, colognes, and candles. So, well, a little bit of news on the jiu-jitsu front. At first, I thought I wasn't going to have a match because nobody signed up in my weight class and age class. But when I emailed them, they gave me the option to move to a different division. So I decided to go down 2 age divisions and up 2 weight divisions so I can get some matches. So, but one of the other guys is actually in my age division. He had to drop down to get a match as well, but he was in the same weight class. So I have 2 opponents. So I'm excited now. Super excited. The unknown of whether I'm going to get a match is gone. So the excitement of having a chance to get out there and do jiu-jitsu is exciting.
Hell yeah. Well, congrats on that. You get to show your stuff.
Yeah. Just focus on doing good jiu-jitsu and things will fall into place. But yeah. So had a crazy storm pass by today at the houses, huh?
Yeah, man, it wasn't even raining that hard, but it knocked my power out for like 2 hours. I don't know what was up with it.
Yeah, I mean, earlier I got home from a haircut and like right when I walked in the door, like it just rained sideways for like a good 20 minutes or so. So,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's not
fun.
raining anymore.
Thankfully.
Yeah. All right. So Justin, how you feeling about this book, the first quarter of this book?
I'm enjoying it. It's fun. It's somewhat similar to the first book, but I think it's better so far. I like it better than the first book.
I would agree. It really like it doesn't have that same initial thing that the first book had, where it was like, well, this seems weird, and then all of a sudden the writing got better. It definitely shows off a different part of the world.
Yes.
And so that's fun. It's fresh and exciting, but you still get that heist. I think he returned to the heistiness So we'll see how that resolves if it
Yeah.
goes back to just, tropic fantasy, or if it stays in the heistiness. Uh, but
Yeah. And yeah, I feel like since we don't have to like be introduced to the characters or anything like that, the remembrances I like them more than the like flashbacks of the first book so far at least. Um because it's kind of filling in the time gap, but it's with already established characters and things like that. So I don't know. I'm enjoying it.
yeah, what I like about the reminiscences in this one is that um, he doesn't the meatiness of the chapter. It doesn't like take time to go, hey, remember when we did all this, and then explains all that.
Yeah.
It just in conversation says, I think in the first chapter it says, Jean says something like, after I had to take care of you in that Valvarazzo thing. And then the reminiscence is a very detailed story of that event. So it doesn't break up what was happening in the now.
Yeah.
But we get at a break, we get a, oh, hey, this is what's happening. It's cool. Um, Not like the interludes in Stormlight Archives, where, you know, when you get to the interludes in the Stormlight Archives, a lot of times it's after something happened, and you're just, at least for me, I was like, I just want to get back to this character. I want to know what happens to this character. I don't want to have to read through 80 pages of stuff just to get back to it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I will say like some of the first book remember flashbacks were very much like Storm like interludes where it's just like, yeah, we're gonna tell you about the horrors and the pimps of Camor and stuff like that. So like it hasn't happened really so far yet. I mean, I'm down for the world building stuff because I think I also think this is a cooler setting than Camor. It's way more fantastical.
yeah, I like the idea of Tal Varar being a rose-shaped group of islands where they're all
Yeah.
crescents, and um, it's really cool, really great. So
Yeah, it's all alien made or elf made or whatever.
yeah, I want to know more about the Eldrin. Um, so maybe he'll tell us in either book two, book three, book four, or
Yeah.
maybe he'll have some other um I can't remember the word, but like addendum, um
Yeah, or like a prequel series or something.
or prickle, yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
don't,
Like, hey,
I
this
don't,
is how all the Eldrin glass got there.
yeah, because I don't see them really like
Alive.
locking them learning about the secrets of the Eldrin or whatever, unless they like steal something from some the Bonds mages or some shit. Um, but yeah, yeah,
Or it could do some type of I can't talk about that. It would give a spoiler. Yeah, I can't talk about that. So anyway, I'll say essentially, what if the Eldrin from the Beyond or whatever communicate with Locke, and like, hey, we need you to help us here. We're stuck, blah 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 blah. And he's like, whoa, that's what this all is. Uh,
yeah. Maybe that'd be kind of cool if he
and,
wants to go way more world expanding craziness instead of kind of the lower stakes of this.
and then the Gentleman Bastards just end up stealing um all of the secrets of the Elder Glass.
That'd be crazy, but cool.
Steal whole planets full of Elder Glass.
Yeah, book six is on a different planet.
That's wrapped in Elder Glass.
Yeah,
They shrink down into a planet that's wrapped in Elder Glass that exists on this planet and is on a chain around a cat's neck.
yeah. What I find interesting about the Eldrins, I guess we're just gonna talk about them, is there's been no depictions of them, right? Like, there's not like there's all the Elder Glass, but there's no like statues of them or anything like that. So we don't even know if the I just think of them as elves because of Eldrin. Just sounds kind of like Elven. But they could be like weird Cthulhu monsters or something even crazier.
Yeah. What if all the Elder Glass is their tombs?
I could see that. That'd be cool.
That'd be fun. Huh. Why are they all different shapes and all this? But oh, anyway, shall we begin
And
with
we can.
Freynog, a strained conversation?
Strange conversation. So yeah, this novel picks up in medias res in action. There's basically a tense standoff between Locke Lamora, Jean Tannen, and two people. And the background is like a burning ship, so stuff's gonna get crazy. They're like basically in a Mexican standoff, and then Jean's like turns his crossbow. They're all using crossbows because they're guns. Turns his crossbow on lock and makes a like signaling that maybe he's gonna betray them, but probably not. It's probably part of a plan, but it sets up a little tension in the opening thing, and then kind of just ends in a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I like that as an opening because it's oh man, there's this book so far has reminded me. I don't even know if it's a specific movie because I couldn't think of a title of one. But I mean, it's definitely that genre of like heist movies or like some guy wakes up somewhere. Like we start the movie off where this guy is like in shit, and he's just like, all right, now this is how I got in this situation. And then we start, then it jumps back in time and it's like, all right.
A good one of those is Maverick with Mel Gibson.
Okay, I don't think I've seen that
No, I
one.
haven't seen Maverick.
Oh,
It's he's like a cowboy, but he's also kind of like a gambler, and he's like it's kind of like Lachlan Lamore a little bit. It's like he's like a cheater, but he starts off the movie and he's about to get hung. He's like, "All right, boys," and then like splashes back and then goes past that. So it's a good movie.
all right, I'll have to add it to my list to watch.
It's got Gene Hackman and somebody else, little lady.
That's got to be a famous scene because I think there was a movie with James Franco
It's
where
Jodie Foster, yeah.
huh?
Jodie Foster's the
Okay.
lady.
Yeah, I think there was a movie with James Franco where he it started off and he was being hanged and he just kind of smiled and something happened and then it went back in time. Um, God, there's another movie. It might have been Lucky Number 11 or something like that. That this book reminded me of, where the main character like gets like people show up and like, hey, you're coming with me with us, and he's like, who the hell are you? Like, and he gets brought in to somebody and it's like, oh, hey, you're caught up in this. I need you to do this. He's like, I don't even know you people. It's like, well, you got to do this and this for us, and they drop him off somewhere, and then like within the hour or the day, some other faction is picking him up and bringing him into their boss and like, hey, yeah, you're caught up in this. It's like, who the hell are you? Like, it's like, well, you're working for us now. And this reminded me, like, this whole first quarter of this book is just like that. Like, Locke and Jean just keep getting like grabbed and like, hey, and like, okay, you're just always in shit, like looking over your shoulders, like can't get a rest. So
Yeah, very like Guy Ritchie, like Snatch and Lock, Stock also.
yeah.
Uh but yeah, it's cool. It's a fun opening.
I could see Lynch being like, I could see Lynch writing screenplays for movies. I could see these movies having really good live action adaptations too,
Yeah.
because they read like a movie. Like there's, I mean, maybe Quentin Tarantino, just because some of the conversation that's going on could be done really well. Um,
Yeah, I'll do it as like an HBO miniseries would be awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would like that.
It'd also be fairly cheap because you just
Yeah,
figure
very
out
few characters.
you just figure out how to do the Elder Glass and like weird CGI or something, make it look cool, and yeah, then it'd be all fantasy costumes and stuff. It'd be fun.
Yeah, and it's not even that fantastical, right? It's a semi-modern world, like, maybe late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah, they just don't have
Feels
guns.
like.
They just don't have guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most fantastical stuff is all the beasts, like the sharks and the first one, and then the
And
fucking
the
crazy
Bond's Magi.
the crazy wasps in this one.
He loves like wasps though. Like, I mean, scorpion hawks.
Yeah.
I think that of almost like a wasp type thing. Speaking of that, I was walking the other day. I was on a walk, and we've got this nature trail that's in our neighborhood. For many years, it was overgrown, but lately, within the past few months, somebody came and rebuilt the bridge that goes over a little creek to get to it, and they made it super wide now, so you can actually get like a lawnmower, riding lawnmower over it to help clear the trail. And one of our neighbors who does lawn work actually went in and with like a bush hog and trimmers and all this thing, and he cleared out all of the vines and the brush and everything, and widened the pathway. But anyway, I was out back there walking since it's cleared out now, and snakes running around like spiders, all sorts of things. There's a moth, not a moth, a butterfly that it was so big it looked like its weight was weighing it down, like it couldn't fly for long. It was pretty big. It was like this big. It's like and
And
black. But anyway, I walked through a spider web, and I was thinking, because I was thinking about this book as I was walking. I was like, man, it would suck if like there were flying spiders or insects that flew that could spin webs. Um, so
yeah,
add another like horror detail if you're afraid of insects or have
I mean,
arachnophobia.
there's spiders in the water, so yeah,
Yeah,
those things are crazy. Have you ever seen them?
water spiders.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
the ones that like have a they like they like are in the ocean. I'm pretty sure.
really?
I
Because
mean,
I
it's
know
like
like some spiders will create a air
yeah,
bubble
sea
around themselves.
spiders.
Sea
Yeah,
spiders.
yeah, they're crazy. I think they're super poisonous too.
Sea
Oh, they're
spider.
not spider. There's like water spiders though.
A sea spider looks like a crab. There's an arthropod.
Oh yeah, the diving bell spider. Yeah,
Diving bell spiders.
yeah.
Yeah,
These
they
things are
create
they, they're a little air bubble. Yeah, they're cool.
yeah. Yeah, I knew about those guys.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like there's an actual spider that like swims and lives under the water that's like sizable. Where like, oh,
No, we're not quite as scary as this world. Is there a name for this world? Forget. I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know.
There's no Comor, and we're now on Tal Varar.
Yeah, I mean, Theron is like the larger nation, I believe.
That was the nation that got broken apart, right? It's like the Roman Empire almost.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think we
Uh,
have like a Middle Earth or
yeah, I don't remember.
yeah,
Um, it's just Lockland.
yeah,
Instead of landlocked, instead of Randland, it's Lockland.
yeah.
Lockland.
Lachlan. But yeah, I
It's
guess we can
somewhere
move
in
on.
Ireland, right? Lockland.
Lachlan.
Lockland.
I mean, Loch Ness Monster.
There you go.
And there we go. Solved it.
Yeah. So yeah, we can move on to chapter one, little
Yeah,
games.
little games. All right, so we get a lot of details on Talvarar. Um, and just like you said, it's a bunch of like islands that are all Elder Glass, and we get a lot of descriptions on stuff, and we get a main description on the Sin Spire, which is like this large Elder Glass tower that has a bunch of floors, and it's basically a giant casino. Um, each floor you have to be like rich to get in or like of influence, and each floor, as you win more games and do more influence, it's progressively more like expensive, and the games are higher stakes. Seems really cool. It's run by this guy named Requin, uh, and they're there right now. Uh, they're doing a game, the Carousel Hazard, against these two ladies who are like the best of it. And then we also get a lot of stuff about how, like, you can't cheat. If you're caught cheating, like you get your arm chopped off and thrown out a window, and it's just real bad. And like they have all these different mechanisms, and like their dealers are super good at being able to spot cheaters and things like that. And then they're like, naturally, we are cheating at this the entire time. And we learn that they've been doing this. They've been in Talvarar for 2 years, and they're cheating their opponents. So they're playing Carousel Hazard, which is basically like bridge, alcoholic bridge, where like if you lose a hand, like you have a partner that you can't communicate with, and you have like cards, and if you lose, you get a random alcohol to shoot down, and then the game ends when I guess you're out of money or you just pass out drunk. And they're kind of losing but getting around. We find out that they are like dousing the cards with this like narcotic, because one of the ladies likes to like lick the cards to like intimidate people. And so it's gonna
Did she lick the cards? I know she was eating
she puts them in the
cherries.
mouth.
Like she was eating candy and cherries and licking her fingers.
Oh, she looks. I thought she'd licking the cards, but maybe I guess maybe
Well, she has
I
to
don't know.
touch the cards,
And then
but
licks the finger.
as she
Yeah,
touched the
that makes more
cards, she touched
sense.
her food and then licks the stuff off her food.
That
But yeah,
makes more sense.
they described that action that she was doing as a little game,
Yeah,
along with like the other chick who smokes cigars or something.
yeah.
Um, just kind of try to annoy your opponents.
Yeah, and give you make you give them a towel or whatever. Um, but yeah, they're doing this because they're trying to like catch the eye of Requin, who's like this mysterious benefactor that owns the entire thing. We they end up winning. She passes out from the narcotics. It's a big upset because they're like the best at it. They're very drunk because they've been losing a lot, and so they didn't find a way to cheat the game or the dealers, so they have to cheat the players, which we learn more about that later. So yeah, they do that, and then we get introduced to the major domo of
It's
the
inspired.
Sunspire, Cylindri, who's this like pretty cool lady that's like burned on one side. We get the story of that, and she has like this crazy brass
Brass hand.
arm, hand, and she like invites them up to the sixth floor, so they're getting more uh, badass.
So before we move on further, I thought it was interesting. Like if if you are really good, then you get invited to the next floor, right? So if these two ladies are the best and they're known as being the best at this game, why are they still on the fifth floor?
It might be like there's not enough competition, so they're like trying to just play whoever is there.
Okay.
Or I
Maybe
think
you can play on any floor if I mean below.
yeah, I think you also have to have like a bunch of money, which they seem to be pretty well off. I don't know. Or maybe maybe locking them challenge them. I can't remember. Because maybe you could be like, hey, I challenged the biggest fish here, and
I know they did. I want to say they specifically did challenge these two for this game.
yeah. So
I mean, it makes sense. Well, they had to because they did their reconnaissance before and they knew that she would lick her fingers.
yeah, there might also be, I can't remember. There might also be like different games played on different floors, and they like this one the best.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, very cool. Cylindri's a really fun character. Get a lot more of her. She has a pretty crazy voice in the audiobook. I don't know if you listen to it.
I haven't listened to the
It's,
audiobook
it's
yet.
very like it's very like low and hissy. It's pretty fun. Um, so yeah, then basically they leave the Spire having accomplished their mission of intriguing Requins. They can set up their next ploy when uh they're in the market, and basically everybody starts talking to them like it's the Fallen. Seen that movie.
Oh,
And
before you get there,
yeah.
they when they were just walking and they got somebody stopped and said, "Hey, wait, hold on, the dueling green is right here," and they made them stop because there was a duel going on. They're like,
Yeah.
"This is fucking stupid. Like, why don't they just stab each other?" They're like, "Well, crossbow bolts are quicker." And then I thought this funny. The comment was, one of the other people said, "You can hack at someone all night with a rapier and fail to kill them." And Locke was like, "I am quite compelled to agree with you." And the person was like, "What?"
Yeah. It also is kind of like the dude, like the younger dude, like turns around and like wildly shoots and misses, and you're just like, ah, the other dude's just like, ha ha ha, and just shoots him in the face. It's like, damn, pretty
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, then like they're going through the market, they're having like this eerie thing where like some they're like getting like a treat, and the guy's like, "Thank you, Locke Lamore," and he's like, "What?" And he's like, "What? Pastor Costa," and and they kind of have that stuff where like they start. It's eerie, and people are talking about their real
He
names.
starts wondering if he's like hallucinating these things.
Yeah,
It's actually
because he's
happening.
still kind of drunk from and then turns out that I was correct that the bonds mages are not just gonna be like, "Oh, you caught me in a technicality." No, they're gonna screw him over. They're like, "Hey, you did us dirty. You messed up the Falconer. We're gonna like make your lives miserable." It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I thought that scene was kind of creepy, and I could only imagine on the audiobook it was just like almost like a legion of voices. Um, but let's see. There was sorry, reviewing my notes to what I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about here. Um, I like that there was a callback to the Sophia oranges in the
Yes.
fifth section in the night market. So as you remember, Danya Sophia was the alchemist Danya. There was another reference to her in this part of the book as well, not necessarily in this chapter, but later on. Um, so nice callbacks to characters and that they're still existing and doing things in the world, and that they could potentially show up. Um,
Yeah.
and I was gonna say I like with this book, I am really, and as of this first chapter, I really started to like Lynch's writing a whole lot more. Like there's a lot of suspense in places, which is really cool. It has me turning the page, getting through pages quickly. Like I'll be like reading, and next thing I know, I'm read 20 pages and doesn't feel like it. Sometimes you're reading a book and you're like, okay, this is fun, but 20 pages seems like, you know, like 50 pages, like feels like you took an hour or 2 hours to read 20 pages. This one, I could just, it feels like I turned one page and I ended up 20 pages later. Uh, there's excellent situational comedy in some places. I like the one with the climbing out the window and in book one and coming across the man that was leaving because the wife was cheating on her husband was coming home. Hilarious scene. Um, and then with the market scene right here, we get some awesome horror. Um, really well done horror.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he kind of sorry, he
Oh,
kind
you're
of kind
good.
of shows an array of styles that he can go between.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I also feel like his like style is been solidified, where he was finding it more in book one, and towards the end, it kind of you know, captured it. And I think he's better able to like weave the exposition and the narrative together, so it's not quite as clunky. He'll still do the like that, like couple of pages of describing the entire city, which I still like. So
But
I'm
he
not.
sets it up well. Like he starts off with like telling you such and such steps off of a boat and is walking towards blah. And
Yeah.
then you get like a couple of pages where it's like describing things that they're seeing as they're walking through.
Mm.
And then it returns and says, oh, they arrive at the front door. I'm like, okay, well, that was a nice journey through the city. Not like just some third party that's like, and this city contains this and this and this and blah 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 and like things that the character wouldn't even see, right? I
Yeah.
think everything he describes is characters can actually see them. Like if yeah, I started to think like Stormlight Archives. I think Brandon Sanderson will describe some things like from an eagle eye view where like I mean, you have the windrunners there that can be up in the sky, but like nobody else would really have been able to see the top down the over eagle eye view of something. Um, so it seems more realistic
Yeah.
from a character point of view.
I get that. It's the push and pull between like the God view and the character view, how you want to, set it up. And both are needed in certain aspects, but yeah, I like it. Um, I like that the Bonds mages immediately appeared. Because that was like a dangling thread. I'm like, they have to appear. Like that'd be really dumb if they're just like let them go. It seems like though that they like. Well, they say they're gonna just torment them and by like doing all the weird stuff that they end up doing. So they don't really want to kill them right now because they could just do it. They're like, no, we're gonna like mess you up instead. Just fun. All right, then we go to our first reminiscence, Kappa of Vel Varazzo. Um, like I said, the start of the book is a 2 year time skip from the first book. Or probably actually a little bit more because they've been in Tel Varar for 2 years doing this game. So this is basically a little bit after book one. Locke is still very messed up from getting stabbed a bunch by the Great King. Um, and he is not doing good. He's depressed from being stabbed and missing he's now starting to grieve his friends, and he's just basically getting drunk and being a giant dick. Um, and so they're at Valparaiso, which is this like port city, where they dropped off. We learned that Ibelios bounced a couple months prior in a different stop because Locke was being such a dick. So Rip Ibelios, maybe he'll come back in book three or this book, who knows? But he's gone. Um, and then
Valparaiso is a coastal city on the mainland that's nearish Talvarar.
yeah. So they're kind of like figuring out what to do. Uh Locke is just drinking. So Jean basically starts becoming a Kappa. He goes and, like beats up a local gang, and then he was like, "Hey, I'll beat up anyone who beats you up." And he beats up these other guys. It starts to become like powerful and maybe start to assemble a new gang and become the Kappa of Valparaiso, as the title says. And then as this is happening, Locke is still being depressed and drinking all the time and just not exercising, so his muscles are stiff as they heal, and he's not healing as fast as he wants. And basically, Jean goes in and is like, "All right," he does a drastic measures. So he's like, "Hey, I'm taking your wine. You're gonna have to go get it." Up, I block the door. You're gonna have to go out the window to get the wine, and he like starts basically just berating him into actually, uh, you know, getting off his ass and becoming back to the person he was. And it works. He ends up like doing a bunch of thieves. He like steals something from the mayor's mistress and a bunch of other stuff, and they have to like hightail it out of town, which kind of pisses off Jean because he was like, "Hey, I was building something." He's like, "Ah, we can be better than Kappas. We can be the gentleman bastards again." And they're gonna go to Tal Farar.
Yeah, I loved uh where he's like, all right, I locked the door. Or it's like, but I'm inside. He's like, yeah, you this place you can lock the door from the outside. He's like, open the door. He's like, what, you can't pick the lock? It's like, open the door. Or pick the lock. He picks the lock, and now there's a wall of barrels
There.
that are blocking the door. He's like, what the hell, man? He's like, well, I guess you're gonna have to go out the window. And he's like, what? I can't go out the window. Wait, you're telling me you did this before and now you can't? It was just great. Great intervention on Jean's part to get Locke off of his liquor and painkiller, essentially addiction. Um, but yeah, Jean showing that he's a badass, walking in is like, "Who's the biggest motherfucker in here?" And the guy goes, "I am," and just pow. He's like, "Nah, I am." And everybody's like, a couple people are like, "Wait, what'd you do that for?" He's like, "Hey, you want some too?"
Yeah, apparently the underworld in this place is not very good because there was like no Kappa, so he just kind of took over in like a day.
And he goes to the other one. He's like, "Hey, y'all beating up on these people?" It's like, "Yeah, what'd you do that?" Pop.
It was funny. He was like starting to teach him how to cook, so they were like he's gonna slowly mold them into the new bugs and stuff. But alas, they leave
Yeah.
for bigger and better things.
We also do get more description of Elder Glass structures that have been repurposed. In this one, I like um, the pylons that are being used as lighthouses. And remember, God, what was the name of that movie? Is directed by the guy that did Nosferatu. Um, it was the
Uh,
Lighthouse movie
are you talking
with
about the lighthouse?
was that the name of it? The
With
Lighthouse
yeah, with Robert Pattinson
and Willem
and
Dafoe?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, the
it's called the
Lighthouse.
lighthouse. That lighthouse movie.
Dude, I thought I was going crazy while watching that movie. But no, they talk about they briefly mention people that go and work in these pylons that have been converted to lighthouses, and that they go crazy sometimes. It's like it's the lighthouse. I wonder if that's Robert Pattinson. Uh,
Yeah,
that movie was crazy, man. It's like you farted. Like what?
I need to I need to finish that movie. I watched like a little bit of it and I did something else and never went back to it. It is
Oh, I
strange.
sat there and watched it with Christy, and afterwards, Christy's like, "What the fuck did we just watch?" There's two people descending into madness. So, um, good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if I will watch it again. Um,
All of it.
people talk about Requiem for a Dream as a movie that they are glad they watched but won't watch again. I'll watch Requiem for a Dream before I watch the Lighthouse again, probably. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah, all that dude's movies are weird. But
more ether, no more ether.
yeah. The Northman.
I
Uh,
haven't watched The Northman
oh, the
yet.
Northman's good.
I need to watch that one.
Speaking of the Northman, chapter 2, Requiem. He's
Requiem.
not a Northman, but he's a dude.
Speaking of the Northman, let's talk about something that has nothing to do with the Northman.
Yeah. There are no Celts that we know of in this. Well,
I
actually, there
mean,
were. There were last book we learned about them.
Tal Varar is north of Comor, isn't it? Or is it south? It's south.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they were looking north when they left at the end of last book, I think.
That makes sense.
I could be wrong, but I think. Sorry, I was just noticing I got a haircut and my beard's all fucking trimmed and everything. So
Oh yeah, looking nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Uh,
Requiem.
yeah, Rickman. So yeah, so they are like, all right, the bonds mages are doing stuff, but like we can't live our lives. They're just gonna mess with us, so we have to like we're still gonna do our thing. So they are just kind of discussing their plans. They're also creepily enough in this society they're eating miniature cakes of themselves, which
They love like he loves to have their people, their chefs make silicone cakes of any.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That was weird.
Yeah, it seems to be like a fashionable meal or something. This because I think Requin has one himself too that he's eating. Um, but yeah, so Locke goes back to the Sid Spire and goes up to Cylindri and is like, "Hey, I've been cheating this entire time. What's up?" And she's like, "Oh, really?" And she like brings him into the Requin's office, and he does this like fun showing. He basically is like, "Why are you drunk? Why are you saying this? Because I have to kill you because that's the death penalty if you cheat in my establishment." And he like proves it by how good he is by like doing a bunch of card tricks and being like, "I have 5 decks in my sleeves," and doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
One-handed
Yes, because he
too,
has
because he has one that's shackled to the table.
yeah, which is cool. That's the hand that he cuts off whenever he gets thieves, which is cool. Yeah, so he's doing it one handed. He basically impresses him enough, and
Tells
then
him how he
he
cheated at all the other games that
yeah
are require only games where he can cheat the other player.
yes
So if it's against the house, they don't play those games because there's no actually cheating.
yeah, and he would be stealing from them instead of like other people basically. So
Yeah.
um so yeah, then he gets this he says a story that he was hired by a mysterious person to break into Requin's vault and steal from it. Um, then he basically is like, instead I'm gonna like work for you because I don't want to be expendable and I want to really kill my partner, Jerome. And then he's like, you know, if I do all this and foil the plan, you could give me a job and I can make a bunch of money and it's better than just getting killed. And he's like, and Requin's like, maybe. Um, and then after that, so he basically kind of buys it. He's like, I'm not gonna kill you yet, but if you do anything weird, I will kill you. Uh, and like he escapes with his life for now,
A
and then he gets kidnapped. Him and Jean get kidnapped at the end of the thing.
Yeah, Requiem also is like, I'm gonna keep 2,000 of your 3,000 Solari on the ledgers. Um, I'm not gonna take it from you. I'm gonna leave them on the ledgers, but I'm claiming them for me. That way it doesn't throw off anybody like, oh, hey, look, he took it from him.
Yeah.
But they're not locks. They don't belong to him anymore. Then oh yeah, the fake business that Jean and Locke were talking about when they met up at the club was funny because they dropped hints here and there like in code like, oh, here's we talked about this and but most of what they were talking about was just gibberish, but loudly for anybody that was eavesdropping.
Yeah, they're fake. They are basically speculators. They're like finance bros, basically. Just kind of funny. It's like they're like, yeah, this will give us
Crypto
plenty of time.
bros.
Yeah, they're basically crypto bros. They're like, this will give us plenty of time to just kind of lounge around and do our own stuff.
Um oh yeah, it kind of reminded me of what he did to Miragio as well.
Yeah.
He proved how good he is, and that Requin's men weren't able to detect his cheating because he's like, "Hey, I did this to you." He's like, "Oh shit, my people aren't as good as I thought they were." Um,
Yeah.
so it just impresses him enough to be like, okay, maybe I'll keep you alive. Maybe you're useful. You were kind of honest in telling me that you did this to me." Um, Now, Locke is not as benevolent or sure benevolent as a white hat hacker, but it's kind of like he uses that ploy on people. Be like, hey, look, I found the weakness in your stuff. You should bring me into your circle. And then he screws them over. But
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's pretty good. Yeah,
maybe more like
he's all
ransomware.
yeah. Yeah, he's also like, I'm gonna help you catch whoever's trying to rob the bank, and I get to kill Jean, who's I hate. So we get that. Yeah, very fun. Little
Makes
twist.
reading it makes me like obviously I'm trying to figure out how Locke and Jean got to where they were in the prologue. Um, but it also like the prologue sowed uh a few seeds of doubt with me, like, okay, are they actually in a tiff in the prologue? And if so, what actually happened? How did it get to that point? Or if it's just all part of that plan. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's probably all part of the plan, but we shall see. Maybe like, you know, since Locke wants to kill him, he's like, oh no, I can like flip it on him. I heard you were gonna kill me, so and then like can do some crazy stuff.
but also we don't know who the other two people are.
It's true.
It could be theory time.
Yeah,
One is the Archon, one is Requiem.
that'd be crazy. I don't. They're both men, right? So it's not the Moraine or whatever.
It's not Moraine now. It's not Cylindri.
Yeah.
But it could definitely be. Let's see. Theory. Um, sorry. Requiem
Yeah.
and Archon.
Yeah. Maybe.
That would be a twist. That'd be fun.
Would be. Man.
Instead of just some random ass people.
Yeah, they're probably people we know. Just it'd be interesting that they're working together since they hate each other. But maybe they want to kill Locke and them because they figure out that they're playing them.
Yeah, it was definitely intentional that their names were not mentioned.
Yeah.
So if we haven't met them by name yet, we will before we get back to there. So
Yeah. There's a lot of ladies as like bodyguards and stuff, so we haven't met too many actual men besides those two yet.
no manservants.
Yeah.
All right, reminiscence,
Yeah. Best
best
laid
laid plans.
plans.
Sorry. The I like the idea of the wine that changes colors and tastes.
Yeah, that was cool.
So it just over
Yeah.
just goes back and forth. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, like, this place is like the clockwork realm where Gamora was more like the alchemical world, which is fun.
Yeah, and it's fun when they get alchemical stuff here because they're like, oh man, this stuff is foreign. Like this alchemical stuff is exotic, whereas in Kamor, the clockwork stuff was like exotic. So
Yeah.
fun stuff.
Yep. So best laid plans. So they're going to Talvarar. Uh, yes, in the past, still Locke is still hurt. He's trying to figure out how to like shuffle a card one-handed, which we saw him being able to do in the future. So it's pretty fun. Then we kind of the plan to like rob the Sun Spire kind of comes together. And like we get a lot of details on the vault and how crazy it is. How it's like a elder glass thing and it has like 3 layers of security and security guards that sleep there all the time, and it has like 2 different keys and it's like crazy. Um, yeah, so they're gonna they basically figure out to do that. They get to reminiscing about their dead companions, which was fun. Not fun, but good to hear that it's still kind of haunting them. Um, and then they kind of like come up with the plan. They like make their their personas and all right, let's do it. They're like, it might take a couple of years. It's like, yeah, what else we gotta do?
Yeah, and they estimated about 300 or 350,000 Solari that are in the vault in the Sinspire, which is significantly more than they had um, down below the Temple of Paralandra.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. I have no idea how they're gonna steal it. The only way it would be is if they convince them to take it out of the Sinspire for some reason. Maybe on that boat that burns. We shall see. Um,
I mean, he does get, wasn't it, it was one of the ladies, right, that told him about him having a silver tongue.
yeah,
Yeah, whenever he got out of the meeting with Requin and was watching the end of the Stiletto Wasp fight, she was like, "When are you gonna stop using that silver tongue?"
and she's like, I kind of want to. One day it's gonna get cut out. I'm
Yeah,
gonna enjoy that. Yeah, that was the lady with the that spoke. She's cool. Yeah, it was fun. We get to learn about the vault, which
yeah,
was a good
Madame
thing.
Dorena was her name.
Yeah,
Yeah, short, not much there. So, well, fun world building stuff and you know, plans, laying
yeah,
plans, as the chapter says.
yeah.
Chapter
Uh,
3.
3, yeah, warm hospitality. So Locke and Jean are captured. They're blindfolded with like a hood. They are brought. We learn about the Mon Magisteria, which is basically where the Archon of the
Talbot.
city, Talvarar lives. He's like there's like 2 powers. There's like kind of like the noble courts or whatever, and then there's like him, the Pylor or whatever. So there's we can learn a little about the politics. He has these really crazy soldiers that have like these masks on where only a little bit of their eyes are open, so you like it's like brass masks. They're cool. They're called the eyes.
The Eyes of the Archon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, we get a little bit more of the lady who I'm just gonna call Moraine because that's what it sounds like, but it's not actually it. But she's like a employed by them. We don't want to get too much on this uh thing. They're led up. There's basically like a crazy like uh elevator kind of thing through like waterfalls to the thing. It's really cool because it's like a giant like thing and like a elder glass, right? Isn't it? It's crazy. The description of it's really cool.
Yeah, it's like multi-tiered crenellations.
Yeah,
There's waterfalls. They travel like cart.
yeah,
So like as you're traveling on the cart, the waterfall, like you're not pushed off of the pathway or something with the
yeah.
waterfall. Um,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
really
great. It's crazy.
yeah. It's once again we learn like he's really good at writing like opulence. So like there's a ballroom bigger than blah 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 and like so. Then they're basically led and eventually they're like thrown into this like room that turned out to be like a crazy sauna that like dehydrates the shit out of them and they're fixing to die. And then they get brought out.
That's where they were in the first subsection of this, and then it flashed back, right?
Maybe.
Because
Yeah.
like the basically the only note I took like when I summarized the first section was they're locked in a hot room supposedly for hours, and they're like,
Yeah.
"We'll do whatever you want, whatever that is." I don't know, like
Yeah.
it's out of here.
Basically they're Yeah, they're brought in, and then they're let out eventually. And we meet Maxlin Stragos, the Archon. He greets them with hospitality and offers them uh, this pear cider, which is really good. But I like how it's like, yeah, it's not really that alcoholic. You could give it to kids and stuff. Because they're super dehydrated. He apologizes and says that you weren't meant to be there. You're supposed to be treated with respect. And then they drink it, and they drink a lot. And he's like, "Hey, I know you're the Thorn of Comor, and I know all about your stuff. Because guess what? The Bonds Mages told me all this stuff." And he's also like, "Hey, guess what? That was poisoned because the poison was in the cup. I drank from a different glass. Mohaha, mohaha." I'm gonna have you do a mission for me. I'm not gonna tell you what it is right now, and I'll give you a little bit of the antidote so you could not die. And Block is really pissed because he hates being forced into doing stuff. And he's like, "Why can't people just pay us to do stuff?" And then Jean's like, "You wouldn't do it anyway." He's like, "Yeah, you're right." Um, and then we get a little bit like um they can't, the bonds mages can't actually read our minds, so we have a little bit of like wiggle room because there's I forget what it, I didn't write down exactly what they don't know. um but there's a little thing where he's like, hey, they can't read our minds, they just kind of know everything. I guess they use like a scrying spell or something weird. um I did find it funny. They're like, Jean Tannen, which is your real name, and Locke Lamore, which is not your real name. That's bolded for some reason.
Yeah. Well, we will find out what his real name is sometime.
Yeah, but it's like the Bonds Major's like, yes, we don't know his real name. So they're still a little angry about that.
uh
Uh, yeah,
yeah, and the Archons, his wealth and other resources will be available for them. Um do, 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 do. Did you mention that the Archon has agents in Requin's service?
no, but yes,
Yeah. And they're like, well, he's gonna notice we were missing. He's like, oh, I have a couple of people that are gonna have believable alibis that work for Requin. So you'll be okay.
yeah.
Um,
Find out later how good that is.
yeah. Well, I mean, later on, Locke tells Requin's like, hey, the Archon has agents in you? He's like, oh yeah, I do. Okay.
He's like, yeah, I know, but he doesn't know that I know. Wahaha.
But he does know.
Um,
No,
yeah,
no. Um, yeah, and then at the end they want to visit a black alchemist to get like another opinion on the poison.
yep,
See if they can find a antidote outside of the Archon.
yeah, um, yeah. Very fun. They're now in a rock and a hard place with Requin and the Archon. Two of the most powerful people are trying to use them and then kill them.
It's right where they want to be, though.
Yeah, true.
I do like the display of fake butterflies and moths with the clockwork apertures.
That was cool.
Really, really fun because like I had to reread it at first because I was like, wait, what? Why are there this? Oh, okay. It's kind of like some Disney Imagineering type shit. Like,
Yeah, it kind of reminded, just in like style of like something like Blade Runner 2040 or whatever with Leto's character.
I don't remember that scene.
He's like one of the rich people, but he doesn't have like the same thing. He's just kind of like the opulence and like the weird personality of that guy. Um, but yeah, it was cool. Do you think they're actually poison?
Um, I go back and forth.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
See, things like that, I don't. I have a hard time like choosing like, yeah, they are. No, they are. I don't know if it's because I'm afraid of being wrong, but
Yeah, I think they are just because the Archon is so rich. I don't see why he wouldn't just do it. It so I don't know. I guess we'll find out. And I think it's gonna be fun when they tease out what poison they actually have, and they're able to like do an antidote, and that's how they're gonna one up the Archon or whatever. Yeah, good stuff.
yeah. Next, reminiscence.
Yeah, the Lady of the Glass Pylon. So Jean is seeking out Azura Gallardarne, something like that. She's an artificer. They're in Talvalar proper. He's trying to get information on the vault. It's more fun, how he gets there, and it explains all the alchem artificer kind of like their like ward and all that stuff where they live.
The
Um,
Guild of Scribes sinking ships with printing presses.
yeah, that was funny.
I was like, oh god. They're like, yeah, there must be like 4 or 5 printing presses at the bottom of the sea. Like, what? Okay.
Can't stop the flow of technology. You can try, but
Uh,
yeah, that was funny. Yeah, he basically meets her. She's like an old lady. She's really eccentric and interesting. He gives her this like really cool brandy with like it's a owl. Oh my God, it's the brandy from the first book
Ostrich
mixed.
Holland brandy,
Yes, that brandy mixed with like a crazy fruit from their world.
white plum.
Yeah, and that's what they like to do. And it's like super expensive. But he wants to get her help on breaking the vault, and it's one that she designed. We find out, uh, and she's like, "Hell no!" And then we get the story of Requin, which is really gnarly. Basically, we get the story of how Celinda got her burns, where they were doing like a masquerade party, and they switched costumes on a whim, and it like as it was lined with a chemical that when is activated by your sweat, so she was dancing and stuff and sweated, and then it just like freaking napalmed her, which is crazy. um and then he was able to save her. He was the only one to like put out the fire and all this crazy stuff. And then he went on a tour of vengeance where he was like asking everybody what like who did it and the assassin stuff. Nobody would respond. So he just started killing people that could know until somebody told him. And he killed a lot of people. And then he did a crazy thing when he found the guy. He basically like implanted him into a wall and fed him until he survived until he eventually died. Really reminds me of Seven. Um, uh,
7 mixed with like the cask of Amontillado.
yeah. Um, yeah, she's like, so no. So this dude's very sadistic and crazy. Just fun to know. Oh, and then he falls out of a trapdoor, which was funny. Um, because she's like, goodbye. She basically does a Mr. Burns on him. And and then he gets a beer from a helpful beer vendor.
Yeah. He's like, oh, would you like a beer? Like, sure. Like, yeah, I just set up here every now and then in case somebody falls out, and I sell beer. And that's what I do. Oh, okay. And but yeah, Jean was like, I'm just planting future seeds. Oh, okay.
Which we see is cultivated later in the book.
The description of the flightless attack birds.
Oh, yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, I just imagine like a mix, like an ostrich with the attitude of a kangaroo.
I kind of just imagined like the real raptors, so a feathered dinosaur.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it works too.
Yeah, I mean both are cool.
Did you, speaking of kangaroos, did you ever see the video of the guy who like a kangaroo had his dog and the dude
Yeah,
walks up and punches the kangaroo? I was like, okay, it's crazy. Like,
yeah. Australians are a different breed, man.
um, yeah, fun chapter. I like how it's slowly like you're like, okay, okay, I see where this. Oh, and all of a sudden, like, goodbye. And
Yeah,
he's just like falling on this platform, and all of a sudden it just slows before it hits the ground, and then one half of it just goes, ka
yeah,
and he just rolls off. It's like,
yeah,
oh.
yeah. I really like that she has a Mr. Burns trapdoor.
The uh the description of her house, it was very interesting too, because it's like, I mean, it's called the Lady of the Glass Pylon because there's just like this pylon that juts out above the city, and it's like, I think they said like a foot and a half wide or something like that. Not very wide, and her house sits on the end of it like a little birdhouse.
Yeah, yeah, it was cool.
And I was like, so like Jean walking across it, he's like, oh God, I just need to make it. I just need to make it without falling. Um, so just a little intimidation factor going on there as well.
Oh yeah,
Fun, fun description. I love the world. I absolutely love the world.
yeah. The
No crabs, but there's
Elder
sharks.
Glass are cool.
The sharks and elder glass and all
The
sorts of other stuff.
is
Lots of gambling.
stiletto
Wasps.
wasps. Which
Yeah,
is
let's find out about those.
yeah. Chapter
Chapter
4.
4.
Blind alliances. So we start off, and Locke and Jean are trying to corroborate that they're indeed poisoned. They're talking with Pale Teresa. That's how you say it. She's a poison expert lady. She's a black alchemist. We get her being like, if I don't know the exact poison, there's like she lists like three. If I don't know either of the poisons, the cures could kill you because some of the cures are could be poison themselves, basically. So if you figure out what it is, I can probably help you out, and you can come see me 24/7 anytime, which is cool. Good on
Before
her.
before we move away from her,
Hmm?
um, I mean, it ends with her blindfolding them so that they don't know where she actually is located. Uh, but I was reading, there's a quote, it says, I had 10 heartbeats. She's talking about how she knows about poisons and antidotes. I mean, also she was missing a finger, but she was like, "Yeah, I had 10 heartbeats to choose, my finger or my life." I was like, "Oh, so her assailant had a sharp blade, 10 heartbeats."
Yeah,
And then later on, somebody says Bezoars, and I was like, "Oh, have they been consulting with Harry Potter as well?"
maybe. They are the Eldrin. Harry Potter's the Eldrin.
Yeah, there you go. Snape,
Yeah,
Severus Snape.
yeah. He's an Eldrin. Um, but yeah, fun little. We get a little poison knowledge, which is cool. Then they're like, shit. All right, well, I guess we gotta go back to Sinspire and continue our stuff. Um, this is when we get this crazy cage match, which is like this dude with like basically leather gauntlets, and he's punching these giant wasps that they're called stiletto wasps, and they're like super dangerous and uh an invasive species, and it's death to have a queen, because they don't want them in this continent, which is funny. I understand why, because they sound like nightmares. And like basically he has to kill 126 of them, which is insane. And like they're like there's like a cage match, and then there's like mesh, two things of mesh. So like they're kind of squiggling out one at a time. And he gets into a bet with the lady that they played the card game with, Maricosa Dorena, the one that was smoking the cigarette, and he bets on the dude, on the guy. And she's like, I bet on the wasp. And then basically Solyndra appears and she's like, you're needed.
After
Uh,
they make the bet, though, is when she goes, "Oh, I guess it's a good time now to tell you that when one dies, it lets out a pheromone that makes the others go crazier.
yeah.
So the more that die, the others get crazier and crazier."
Yeah, it's kind of implicated that she knows that they cheated. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, she's trying to get back at him a little bit. Um,
Also, I think there was a clockwork mechanism inside with the where all the wasps were, where sometimes one was let out, sometimes multiple were let out. So
yeah.
it was just
Um,
random.
yeah. It's crazy. Those things are gnarly.
I think
And
they
then
said the stinger is like the length of a finger.
yeah, I will say I do like how this world uses stiletto as a term instead of like a dagger.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun.
At first, I was thinking like shoes,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, it's a different thing. But yeah, then Solyndra appears and she's like, "You are needed from Requin." But and they kind of go away. They end up going in this like tiny elevator, and they have a conversation. Locke tries to like flirt with her, kind of, and kind of like sow some seeds of doubts, and maybe get her thinking about him a little bit. Just interesting.
and it was
Uh,
dark in there.
yes, it was dark, and they were close together. Um. So yeah. And then they appear in Requin's basically his office where Locke was at. And they have a conversation where Requin reveals that he knows that he was with the Archon because his people, the Archon thinks he owns his people, but they actually tell him everything. And then Locke makes a gamble and is like, "Hey, he's the mysterious benefactor that's trying to rob you. Um, he he personally got us so he can like make us go faster because he has like some sort of alternate plan." And they kind of like banter back and forth. And he's like, "Yeah, I got poisoned and stuff, so I'm kind of dead anyway. I kind of just want to screw him over, and maybe I can survive if you like help me out. And I also want to kill Jean really badly. Um, and
Requin also knows from the beer vendor that Jean had met with Azura
yes,
about inquiring about his vault.
yeah, he's starting to he's looked into his past and started to put it together. Um, what's happening, and we also learned a little bit about the political intrigue about how the Archon and the like the
The
noble,
Priori.
the Priori are like feuding, and Requin has a lot of their money in the vault as so because the Archon can't get to it, and the Priori technically have more power over him, but the Archon has an army, so it, it's like maybe civil war is going to happen. Uh, he then kind of is like, all right, Locke, if you kill the Archon for me, you'll get that job. And Locke's like, I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but sure. And then they go back down. Um, Oh, Solandri has the final word if he's gonna die or not, and decides to keep him alive. So maybe his little flirtation worked. It does seem we get a little bit of like he like says something like, if Requin's very smart because he loves you or something like that, and she seems there seems to be something like a little rift between them with that. So that was interesting. She's like, "You wish" or something like that, which was kind of fun. But yeah, they go back down, and the dude gets killed by a bunch of wasps. It's real brutal. Uh, and then he goes in like uh he goes in like kind of a veiled thing of like, I'm gonna throw my wine because this guy sucks. He cost me money, and he gives him the kind of last rites of the Crooked Warden, which is fun. And then they go away, and they get ambushed by beggars. There's a cool fight scene. Locke gets a kill, which is fun. Jean is getting the crap beat out of him by this like boxer lady.
Yeah, foot boxer.
Yeah. Right. This seems to be his like one weakness. And then he like stabs her in the back because thanks, look her down. She was just like standing on my back. And yeah, so they like subdue the lady by like hatching her in the back, and they're like, we need some information, and the crossbow bolt kills her. Turns out she's about to stab Jean with a poison dagger, and we learned that it was the lady that brought them to the Archon, who's not Moraine. I'm just gonna call her Moraine. Yeah.
Moraine
She,
Sedai.
yeah, Moraine Sedai. And she's like, "Hey, I saved you. We need to get you out of here." And like, they kind of leave with her. Pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's just a lot of back and forth, like I said, just being kidnapped one after another. So they can't quite catch their breath here.
Yeah.
So yeah, so do you think the Civil War started by the end of the first half of the book, and then the second half is uh, dealing with the rest of it? And do you think the events in the prologue do you think we're going to meet up at the prologue events at the end of this first half of the book?
Usually it's either unlike other stuff, it's usually the first half or like the like 3/4 of the way through the book or something. So I would say that would probably be 3/4. I don't think it's gonna quite pop off next reading, but it's gonna be getting crazy because we still don't know the Archon's actual mission for them, um, which could be against maybe the Pelori. I don't, because like they're like the third pillar of the society, and I don't think that either of the two people we met or commissioned the assassins to kill them. So that's gonna be fun.
Okay. I see that. So you think the Priori were the ones that commissioned the assassins?
So I think it makes sense currently. Or unless it was just the Bonds mages fucking with them some more.
I think that's what I was thinking. Like it was the Magi. But the Bonds Magi went to Requin, right?
Yeah. But they could have also went to the Priori too. Just like we're gonna have them be twisted about with all the people, which would be
They
crazy.
could have gone through all three and be like, hey,
Yeah.
we need these fuckers taken care of. So like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes it fun because they have their own things that they're trying to do while Locke and Jean are like, we're gonna rob the fuck out of you. Like, they're like, yeah, we're gonna kill you and you won't know it. Like, okay, who's gonna win? So
Yeah. We do get a little bit of in like one of the reminiscences that like they're thinking a little bit of retirement, which obviously isn't gonna happen because there's two more books. But it's kind of interesting that they're already kind of thinking that.
yeah,
Yeah.
they make enough money. But they're gonna probably lose it. That's why they gotta keep going, you know.
Yeah.
One more big heist.
One more big heist. Either that or like book three is like 20 years later. Which would be kind of cool.
Could be, and they used all of their money and they need more.
What did you ever think that maybe Moraine was Sabitha? I thought it for a little bit when they didn't mention her name the first part. I was like,
Yeah, I'm always on the lookout for Sabitha. So anytime a female character is coming up and doing something with them or for them, I'm like, is that going to turn out to be her? But she wasn't a redhead, so
sure.
wasn't described as a redhead. But she could dye her hair these days. So.
Yeah, they're all pretty good at disguising themselves.
Yeah. Anything more? Any other thoughts?
No, good start to the book.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm ready to continue. So if you made it this far, go ahead and smash that like button, as they say. They like to say that. Um, they really like to see that. I don't know who they are, but they stay. Um, that was my Trump impression. Uh, Scott gets us canceled. We're canceled now. Anyway, like, follow, subscribe, share it where you can. Leave a rating or review if possible, wherever. All those things help us out, get more people aware of us having fun, and listen to us babble about books that we enjoy. And if you don't like reading, but you like you like movies and you like fantasy stuff and stories, then you can just hear us give the summaries and discuss it. And wish you had friends to talk to, but you don't because you sit. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, we will pick up here next week at the end of part two. I mean, end of part one, which ends in the paperback book I have, ends at page 381. Part two says cards up the sleeve. So if you get to a page that has two ones and says cards up the sleeve, you should stop there. That's where we will be reading to and discussing. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, Mudcat Whiskers, www.mudcatwhiskers.com. Use code Paperweights at checkout to save yourself 15%. And we will see y'all next week.
Bye.